In 2024, millions watched Jourdan Blue step onto the America's Got Talent stage with quiet confidence and a powerful voice. Judges praised the performance, and the audience saw a rising star. But behind that moment was a story few people heard. Years of struggle, hidden setbacks, and choices made far from the spotlight shaped this journey. What really happened before that stage? And why were some parts never shown? Stay with this story to uncover the truth. Jourdan Blue's story did not begin on a bright stage. It started in a quiet place, far from cameras and cheering crowds. A modest home, a simple life, and a dream that felt distant. Growing up, Jourdan faced the kind of challenges many young artists know too well. Money was often limited. Opportunities were rare. There were no big studios, no professional coaches, and no easy path forward. Music came from small moments. A radio playing in the background, a song heard at a family gathering, a voice rising quietly in a room where no one expected it to go far. These early moments became the first steps in a long journey. According to many similar artist paths, talent often grows in silence before it is ever noticed. Jourdan's experience followed that pattern. Hours were spent practicing alone, repeating songs, learning by listening, trying again after mistakes. There were no crowds, no applause, just effort. At times, doubt began to grow. Friends moved on to stable careers. Family expectations shifted. The idea of becoming a performer felt uncertain, like a dream that might never become real. Still, something held Jourdan in place. A belief that the voice mattered. A quiet feeling that music was more than just a hobby. It was a way forward. Local performances became small turning points. Community events, school gatherings, small stages where only a few people watched. But for Jourdan, these moments felt important. They were proof that the dream was still alive. Even then, challenges remained. Rejection came often. Auditions that led nowhere. Opportunities that disappeared before they began. Many observers note that most artists face years of unseen struggle before success. Jourdan was no different. There were also moments of isolation. Watching others succeed faster. Seeing talent go unnoticed. Feeling stuck while time moved on. These emotional pressures shaped not just the artist but the person. Yet resilience slowly formed. Each failure became a lesson. Each setback became a reason to improve. The voice grew stronger. The confidence slowly followed. But progress did not mean stability. Even as Jourdan improved, the path forward remained unclear. There was no guarantee of success. No clear break. Only hope and effort. And then, just as things began to feel possible, something unexpected happened. A sudden change. A moment that would test everything built so far. But just as Jourdan's dream began to take shape, a sudden setback threatened to end it before it ever reached a stage. The journey slowed down without warning. What once felt like steady progress suddenly became uncertain. A setback appeared, and it was not small. It disrupted everything Jourdan had been working toward. Details of the moment were not widely shared. But like many artists, it may have involved financial strain, missed opportunities, or personal challenges. What mattered was the impact. The rhythm of progress stopped. Days became quieter. Practice felt heavier. The energy that once pushed forward began to fade. According to industry patterns, many talented individuals reach this point and choose to walk away. Jourdan came close. The pressure was real. Dreams require time, effort, and often sacrifice. Without clear results, the cost begins to feel too high. Doubt grows louder. Questions begin to form. Was this path worth it? At the same time, the outside world kept moving. Other artists found success. New voices appeared. Opportunities shifted. The gap between where Jourdan stood and where success seemed to be grew wider. But something changed. Instead of giving up, Jourdan paused. There was a shift in thinking. A decision to rebuild, not retreat. This moment became a quiet turning point. One that would not be seen on television. Practice began again, but with more focus. Songs were chosen carefully. Techniques were improved. Every performance, even small ones, became a chance to grow stronger. there was also a deeper understanding forming. Success was not instant. It was built slowly, often through failure. Many industry experts suggest that persistence is the defining factor in long-term success. Jourdan began to reflect that truth. Still, the path forward was uncertain. Opportunities did not suddenly appear. There were still rejections, still delays, still moments of doubt. But the mindset had changed. And then, after time passed, a new opportunity arrived. It was different, bigger, riskier, an audition. Not just any audition, but one that could place Jourdan in front of a national audience. A chance that could change everything or lead to another setback. The decision was not easy, because this time, failure would be public. When the opportunity to audition finally arrived, Jourdan had no idea it would come with pressures far greater than expected. The audience only sees a few minutes, but the journey to reach that moment can take days, sometimes weeks. Jourdan's path to the stage began long before the cameras started recording. The process was detailed, structured, and intense. It started with registration, applications, forms, and initial screenings. Thousands of hopeful contestants apply each season of America's Got Talent. Only a small number move forward. Jourdan was one of them, but that was just the beginning. There were early auditions, smaller rooms, producers watching closely. These performances were not for the public. They were tests. Each step carried pressure. Contestants waited for hours, sometimes entire days, sitting in crowded areas, watching others perform, wondering if their moment would come. Jourdan prepared quietly, going over lyrics, practicing breathing, trying to stay focused while surrounded by noise and competition. Anxiety was part of the process. Many contestants never reach the judges. They are filtered out early. Decisions are made quickly, sometimes in minutes. Jourdan moved forward. Another round, another performance, another evaluation. Each success brought relief, but also increased tension. There were interviews as well. Producers asked questions. They looked for stories, emotional moments, background details that could shape how a contestant would be presented on screen. This is where reality and storytelling meet. According to television production methods, editing plays a major role in shaping what viewers see. Hours of footage are reduced to minutes. Some details are highlighted. Others are removed. Jourdan's journey was likely shaped in this way. Parts of the story were shown. Others remained hidden. By the time the final stage was reached, exhaustion had already set in. The journey had been long, mentally and emotionally demanding. But none of that mattered now, because the next moment would be seen by millions. The stage lights, the judges, the audience. Everything came down to one performance. As the lights turned on and the judges looked on, Jourdan faced a moment that could define everything or erase it all. The stage was bright. The room was silent. Jourdan Blue stepped forward as cameras rolled, and the audience watched closely. This was the moment years in the making. First impressions matter. On shows like America's Got Talent, contestants have only seconds to capture attention. A single moment can decide everything. Jourdan stood still. A deep breath. A steady look. Then the performance began. The voice filled the space. Clear. Controlled. Emotional. It carried the weight of years of effort. Every note reflected practice, struggle, and determination. The judges reacted. Subtle expressions at first, then visible interest. As the performance continued, the connection grew stronger. The audience responded as well. Silence turned into attention. Attention turned into applause. From a viewer's perspective, it looked like instant success. But behind that moment were layers unseen. Nerves before stepping on stage. Last-minute thoughts. Quiet fears of failure. These are the details that rarely make it into the final edit. Still, the performance landed. It created impact. It told a story through music. Within minutes, Jourdan became visible to millions. Social media reactions began. Clips were shared. Discussion started. According to recent trends, talent show performances can reach global audiences within hours. That moment changed everything, but it also created new pressure. Because now, expectations existed. The world had seen the performance, and it wanted more. Yet the cameras did not show what came after. Because when the lights dimmed and the applause faded, a different journey began. As the spotlight faded and the cameras stopped rolling, a new reality began, one that the audience never got to see. Success on television is only part of a story. After the performance aired, Jourdan Blue's life began to change. But not in the simple way many expect. Attention arrived quickly. Messages, comments, recognition. People who had never heard the name before now knew it. According to media patterns, exposure from shows like America's Got Talent can reach millions within days. But attention brings pressure. Expectations grew. Fans wanted more performances, more content, more success. The quiet life from before began to fade. At the same time, decisions had to be made. Opportunities may have appeared, offers, collaborations, new paths. But not all opportunities lead to long-term success. Choosing the right direction becomes critical. Jourdan faced a new challenge, balancing public image with personal identity, staying true to the original passion for music while adapting to a changing environment. This is where many artists struggle. The shift from unknown to recognized can be overwhelming. The pressure to maintain momentum can affect creativity and confidence. There were likely moments of doubt again. Questions about what comes next, how to build a lasting career, how to move beyond a single performance. But there was also growth, experience, understanding, a deeper awareness of the industry. Jourdan continued forward, because the story did not end on that stage. It only changed direction. And as time moved on, one truth became clear. The journey seen on television was only a small part of a much larger story. And as Jourdan's story continues beyond the show, one question remains. Was that moment on stage the beginning of success, or just another chapter in a much longer fight? Jourdan Blue's journey reveals what many never see, the long road behind a single moment of success. If this story opened your eyes, consider subscribing for more real journeys that go beyond the spotlight.